Well, it is the 4th day of January 2024. Good evening and Happy New Year. Welcome to Newswatch and Hope TV, the station where you look and live. I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. You can also find us streaming live on YouTube at Hope TV Kenya, where you can send in your feedback. Let's begin. A section of Azimio leaders from the Western region have joined the barrage of criticism against President William Ruto's remarks following his threat to disobey court orders, noting that his statement is unlawful and contrary to dealing with dissent. Led by Bumula Member of Parliament Jack Wanami, they have called on President William Ruto to respect the Constitution. They have, however, appealed to legislators to keep President Ruto accountable in efforts to reduce the cost of living, while claiming that bills being passed are ailing Kenyans more than benefiting them.
Jana mmesikia rais akisema yeye maneno ya koti hataki kusikia. Sasa sisi wananchi wa chini, wakati serikali inakufinya, tutaenda wapi? Tulikuwa tunaenda kotini, lakini sasa mheshimiwa rais, kwa heshima na taadhima zote, mheshimiwa, kiburi imeingia kidogo. Kwanza kusema ati sasa koti pia hataki. Huko bunge, hata huyu ndugu yangu Makali anajua, mheshimiwa Ruto amecapture bunge. Iko wabunge waoga wakisikia jina yake wanatetemeka. Analeta bills vile anataka. Sasa bunge iko under capture. Tulikuwa tumebaki na institution moja, na mimi nataka kuwatuma ndugu zangu mko hapa Kenya Kwanza. Sisi si ati tunapinga rais, hapana, lakini ajiheshimu yeye mwenyewe kama rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, alafu pia aheshimu wananchi.
Zakayo ashukishe gharama ya maisha, ama sisi tutashukisha Zakayo? Zakayo akikataa kushuka, miti tutafanya nini? Si mimi, nyinyi ndio mmesema. Yaani mimi ninashangaa, baada ya Muliro kupigania mambo ya uhuru na demokrasia Kenya, Wamali wakakuja wakapigania demokrasia Kenya. Tumetawala katika mfumo wa vyama vingi tangu 92. Tumepata ukatuzi 2012. Alafu juzi Ruto anasema ati koti ipende isipende atatawala vile anataka. Si Kenya.
Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Nakhumicha has condemned the violent incident on a Busia healthcare giver at the Port Victoria Hospital caught on viral footage. The footage shows the woman causing a disruption by throwing items off a nurse's desk and simultaneously hurling insults. In a statement, the Cabinet Secretary stated that perpetrators of such acts will face the full force of the law. She said the Busia healthcare worker's assault was not just an attack on an individual, but an assault on the entire healthcare system and the principles that guide it. This as the National Nurses Association of Kenya has clarified that the individual involved in the abusive altercation was not a student nurse, but a theatre technician student attached to theatre on rotation and listed as a student from Nairobi Women's Hospital. The Nurses Association President Collins Ajwang castigated the savage attack on a nurse allegedly by a relative of a politician, terming it as heinous, extreme and uncalled for in totality.
Record. You want to record my face? Record my face. Record my face, I see. Record my face. Record my face. Record my face, I see.
Wewe bwana harakisha hapa ukuja hapa saa hii. We have an emergency here. What are you guys looking
looking at? What are you guys looking at?
You have to give service to our
Usiangalie huko.
ana record mimi
Huwa ana record.
Now, homicide officers and staff from the Public Health Department have exhumed the remains of a body discovered buried in a shallow grave a few meters away from the palatial home of former Kerio Valley Development Authority Managing Director, Engineer Sylvanus Tubey, who disappeared more than 12 years ago. Keio South Police Commander Dahir confirmed that the remains had been exhumed following a court order they had obtained. Tubey went missing from his home in Kabiemit village, Chepkumum, to Mayor location in Keio South Sub-County in the morning of September 26, 2012. The police commander said at the time of Tubey's disappearance, a report was made at the Kaptagat police station and some suspects were arrested but could not be charged before court. He has urged members of the public and relatives to give any information on the disappearance of Tubey to help in renewed investigations, stating that with the discovery of the remains, the probe into the matter will begin afresh. Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has sent a stern warning to criminals and bandits wreaking havoc in the country. Speaking while presiding over the handing over of more than 200 camels which had been stolen in Isiolo County, Kindiki also warned chiefs that aid the criminals in causing destruction, saying that chiefs caught culpable will be fired and prosecuted. The Interior Cabinet Secretary has also asked political leaders to facilitate the fight against cattle rustling by aiding police officers. The Ministry of Internal Security has also said that it will not relent in eradicating banditry, adding that the operation will continue for as long as possible. Furthermore, there are plans to encourage and reward security officers for their valor and selflessness to ensure that the banditry threat is neutralized.
Wewe ni chief, assistant chief, wewe ni afisa wa utawala na umevaa uniform ya taifa ya Kenya ya kulinda wananchi. Na mahali wewe unatawala, wakora sugu ambao wameua watu na kuchukua mali yao wako hapo na mali ya wenyewe na usemi. Haitawezekana wewe na mkora kukaa pale. Kwa hivyo tutakutoa kwanza, ndio utoe uniform kwanza, tukustaki, tukufute kazi, alafu tubaki na ule jambazi peke yake, tutamalizana na yeye. Na vile vile wewe ni chief, assistant chief, na unafanya kazi nzuri. Wewe ni county commissioner, wewe ni ACC, na unafanya kazi nzuri. Unasaidiana na wale ambao wanahusika, sisi zote, mifugo inapatikana, wakora wanapatikana, wale ambao wameumiza wananchi. Tutakupandisha cheo, tutakupatia national honors, na tutatafuta pesa tukupatia hadharani kama zawadi ili tukuweke motisha wale wengine wakae kama wewe.
Moving on, the Ministry of Education has rolled out a countrywide selection process that will see 9,000 bright but needy learners who sat for the 2023 KCPE get a secondary education. The Alimu Scholarship program, which is fully financed by the government jointly with the Global Partnership for Education, mainly targets bright, needy and vulnerable learners in all the 47 counties, including informal settlements in urban areas. And as Grace Ahati now reports, hundreds of needy learners in Soy constituency, Uasin Gishu County, however, risk missing out on bursaries on grounds that their parents are not voters in the area.
As the last cohort of KCPE candidates under the 844 system is set to join Form 1, the Ministry of Education has rolled out a countrywide scholarship selection process that will see 9,000 bright but needy learners get a secondary education. Through the Alimu Scholarship program, which is fully financed by the government, jointly with the Global Partnership for Education, bright, needy and vulnerable learners, including those living in informal settlements in urban areas, will benefit from it. According to the program's Director for Project Coordination and Delivery, Elijah Mungai, the Ministry of Education will, upon securing the 9,000 learners, have provided scholarships to 55,000 learners over the last 5 years. This comes even as hundreds of students living within Soy constituency in Uasin Gishu County, whose parents are not voters in the area, are set to miss out on bursaries. Speaking during the disbursement of 7 million shillings National Government Constituency Development Fund bursaries, Soy MP David Kiplagat stated that the bursaries will only be allocated to students whose parents are registered voters in the constituency, further urging parents to seek bursaries for their children from where they vote and not where they live.
We can actually see the neediness. Patata mahali unavotia pia wako na pesa yao, si ndio? Na wako na vitu yao. Tukasema wacha uende usotiwe pale. And that is why I know some families are crying for the decision that is not our own. For the decision you made yourself, wewe unakaa Soy na unaenda kupiga kura Lukuyani. Hii inashikana kweli? Inashikana. So tuambiane ukweli. Sasa kama unakaa Soy, piga kura Soy.
On his part, the officer in charge of the Soy NGCDF bursary kitty, Hilary Busolo, noted that the process of identifying beneficiaries was free and fair. According to him, they counter-checked each of the applicants' details with their voters' registration status in the IEBC data to ensure only indented individuals benefit.
We used the IEBC portal. What we were doing, we used to key in the parents' ID number together with the year of birth, and we could get where they are voting. So we tried to give the bursary to members of Soy constituency, and that is why we are saying it was fair, it was transparent.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
Much appreciated, Grace Ahati, for that report. And on that note, we take a short break on Newswatch tonight, so don't go too far. We have plenty more coming up.
The following content is made for audiences 18 and under. Viewer discretion is advised for mature audiences.
Expect the unexpected on the Stars Show here on Hope TV. It's getting bigger and better because it's all about talent. Anything goes from singing, open my eyes, dancing, magic, comedy,
handsome ladies and beautiful men.
This show is open to any performer below 18 years of age from any background with any talent. All you need is a skill and a star quality. Just remember to join us every Saturday from 8 a.m. with me, your host, Samara Musheru.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Muhanji with a double I, and today we are with Hope TV. Look and live. And this is a Merry Christmas to everyone watching and a happy 2024. Enjoy it. Enjoy this festive season with your family and have a good time. Tukisema mema. Look at the vibe. Look at the time. Kenye ulisema utatenda, Baba litenda. Mema, mema. unifanye mema, tenda mema, unitende wema, mema mema, mema mema, mema mema, mema mema. I see you, ukiwa baba na ukiwa mwana, and I see you being the Lord of my life. I'm prayed up, live large, I'm blessed up. God good, I praise him, cause you're the Lord of my life. Intention ya king neti kingdom isimame, back left ya chukue usukane. Usiniambe juu ya pressure kiongozi, double I kwenye kanda Maulana. Mema mema, unifanye mema, tenda mema, unitende wema, mema mema, mema mema, mema mema, mema mema.
Welcome back. A total of 100 families living in Cheso Cave, Mount Elgon constituency, Bungoma County, who were evicted from the government forest in 2020 are now fearing for their lives after part of the cave broke off. This even as the resident who allegedly owns the cave gave them a notice to leave the area. Our reporter Alice Diana tells us more.
According to Rispa Chemosop, she escaped death by a whisker after a part of the cave broke off a few days ago. Chemosop says death is staring at them if they continue to live there.
Paka hii mawe kama anakatika hivi. Hata mimi nilistuka sana, nilisema na kama sasa kumbe alikuwa shetani. Si angetoa mimi kabisa ni sawa ya dunia hii. Kwa sababu hata ningekufa hapa. Hakuna mahali watapeleka mimi. Hiyo watu wote angeumia. Sangine kununua kutafuta kwa wajirani, kuombea waende waweke mimi huko. Ama wangeweka mimi hata barabara hata mtoni huko. Tuko tunawaza na hii ndio ikikuja usiku. Sisi tutapona kweli? Unaona maumbo usiku inapita wewe, inaruka wewe, inaenda. Hata saa zingine unapata umbo inakulamba.
Mambo ikabadilika ya kwamba kama una shilingi 1,100 hakuna shida. Na wewe andikwa baba watu walitoka nje.
The community's chairman Jacob Kimtai and their clerk Robin Kipiego are now calling on the government to intervene and provide them with alternative housing in order to enable their children to continue with their studies.
Serikali yetu kuu pia county government waweze kuangalia mambo haya na waweze kutusaidia ili jameni siku moja hawa nayo waweze kukaa kama watu wengine, kwa sababu maisha ile ika hapa naishi kama wanyama tu na tunapambana, lakini Mungu ataendelea kuwagusa viongozi wetu na waweze kuwaondoa kutoka mahali hapa na waketi mahali pazuri. Nashukuru mwenye pango huyu mwenye ameongea, amekuwa na roho. Ingekuwa mtu mwingine hiyo hao watu hawangekuwa.
Mtoto ana haki ya kupata elimu, mtoto ana haki ya kupata matibabu. So changamoto ya hapa ndani, watoto hawana mbele wala kwa ajili ya wazazi. Kama hawana mbele, mtoto atakataje kuwa mbele?
Meanwhile, Peter Kiprop, a resident who allegedly owns the part of the cave, has given the residents a notice to move out of the area.
Mimi ni mkunga hapa. Nimesaliza watoto 10 hapa kwa pango. Na sina vifaa, kwa maana vifaa iliungua yote. Walichoma yote. Niko sasa miaka 28 tangu nianze hiyo ugunga mpaka wakati huu. Bado ninaendelea. Tumeishi kinyama. Tunakaa kinyama. Hatuna nyuma. Hatuna mbele, wachameni.
Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you, Alice Diana, for that report. To education matters as the Ministry of Education prepares to resume with learning this January after long holidays for the first term next week. The government has been urged to increase capitation to enable smooth operation of junior secondary schools, that is JSS. Speaking after an exercise to award Equity Bank Wings to Fly scholarships to needy and bright students in Nanyuki, Kenya Primary School Head Teachers Association KEPSHA, Laikipia East representative Peter Ndumia, said that the capitation allocated to schools was not enough for schools to operate normally. Yesterday, the government released over 7 billion for junior secondary schools for term 1.
Ukiangalia kwamba wale wanafunzi tumechukua 8 wametoka kwa wanafunzi 190 wale walikuwa wameapply hapa Nanyuki. Now that is the same case in the country. From the 1000 there were quite a number who had applied. But tuliweza kuchukua 8. Wale tulitembelea katika manyumbani mwao 30, 20 were very needy. So wale bando wamebaki pale nje, ndipo nataka kupiga changamoto any well-wisher out there who would want to partner with us really to come and pick any of the kids that we shortlisted. Tukapata walikuwa needy, but we only had tulikuwa na nafasi chache sana.
I want to be a lecturer when I grow up so that I can give lectures in the university or a college. I'm very grateful. I take this opportunity to thank the Equity Group for they have given me the scholarship. I'm very proud because I'll be able to excel in my studies, and I'm joining the Mekindori Girls Secondary School.
Touching on the CBC, which is now a very critical education system that Kenya we are embracing, it is my appeal to the national government that the capitation that we are being given should be increased so that the practical learning areas can be well enhanced. And I also call upon the Kenya National Examination Council to make sure that from this year onwards, they will not be uploading the assessment, but they will be sending the hard copies to the school so that our schools can be assisted rather than incurring a lot of expenses that are not catered for by the mega capitation that we are given by our government.
And still on education matters, concerns have been raised in West Pokot County where it is perceived that most learners do not report back to school during this season due to poverty, early marriages and female genital mutilation, which mainly occurs during December holidays. Recent reports observed by Finchurch Aid, which runs under the UNICEF program, state that Masol and Sigol in Central Pokot as hot spot areas where majority of school-going children are affected, urging parents from those areas to ensure their children report back to school. According to educational commentator from West Pokot County, Abel Lokwete, the only way the government will resolve the issue of low school turnout in the area is by working hard to make all schools in those areas boarding schools and providing a full scholarship to learners to reduce the burden of school fees to parents from these areas who are less fortunate.
Ninatoa ombi kwa wazazi wote ambao wako hapa, shule ikifunguliwa Januari, watoto wote wapelekwe shule.
Wanafunzi wameanza kurudi chini, namba ya shule, idadi ya watoto imerudi chini kwa sababu ya maneno ya umaskini, kosa la usalama kwa maeneo mengi, njaa, maji, mambo ya kuhamahama na mifugo kwa sababu ya shida ya maji. Ukiangalia hakuna hospitali ambayo iko labda ni ile ya kanisa, hakuna stima, umeona mabarabara ya kuingia kule vijijini, hakuna barabara, main road ndio ziko. Na ndio maana imekuwa vigumu. Ukiangalia utaleta watoto shule ndio, watakula nini? Na ndio maana ninasema kila wakati kwamba maeneo kama haya ama maeneo kama hii, serikali iweze kuitenga shule kama hii ikuwe shule ya kipekee ambayo ina full scholarship, full sponsorship, watoto wasome bure kuanzia darasa la kwanza hadi darasa la 8.
Wale wanafunzi wote ambao wamejiunga na shule itakuwa rahisi kuendelea, tukihakikisha kwamba machifu pamoja na shule inaungana pamoja kuhakikisha kwamba mula ikifunguliwa watoto wote wanatolewa huko, na pia serikali kupigana na changamoto sa kufeed watoto kwa shule, kuhakikisha kwamba boarding schools inakuwa za kutosha Pokot North, na kuhakikisha kwamba wenye wameingia shule wanapata chakula cha kutosha.
Now across our borders, Sierra Leone former President Ernest Bai Koroma has been charged with 4 offences, including treason, for his alleged involvement in a failed military attempt to overthrow the government in November. The charges came amidst heightened tensions following the attempted coup in a disputed June 2023 election, where President Julius Maada Bio secured a second term. The election's outcome faced rejection by the main opposition candidate and skepticism from international partners. In November, gunmen attacked military barracks and a prison, leading to over 2,200 inmates released and more than 20 deaths. The government attributed the incident to a foiled coup, mainly involving Koroma's bodyguards. His lawyer called the charges a political vendetta. Koroma was granted bail and the case has been adjourned until January 17th. 12 others, including a member of Koroma's security detail, were also charged with treason in connection with the coup attempt. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza has reported that 14 people have been killed in a blast at Al-Mawasi near Khan Yunis. Large plumes of smoke have been seen over Gaza from the Israeli side of the border after several explosions. Al-Mawasi, which is about the size of London's Heathrow Airport, has been designated a safe zone in Gaza by Israel forces. The Israeli military has not yet commented on Hamas claims. Meanwhile, the funeral of Hamas deputy leader Salih al-Aruri, who was killed in Lebanon by a suspected Israeli drone strike, has taken place in Beirut.
It's finally here. The breakfast show that will kickstart your morning with a message of hope, coupled up with wholesome music, and of course, captivating conversations that matter to you.
We shall touch on topics on law, relationships, the Christian walk, and in addition, we will also be keeping you up to date with news and all the trending topics.
Join me, Beatrice Watare,
and me, Joe Gishuru, every Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Hope at Dawn.
Only on Hope TV, where you look
and live.
Je, ushawahi kuweka jambo kwenye mizani? Ushawahi kupata uzito wake? Haya basi, usitapetape zaidi. Naomba unigande, maana mizani ipo hapa kwa ajili yako.
Vyakula na mbegu za kitamaduni,
na kutuliza fikra na kukuwezesha kupima masuala ibuka katika jamii, tena kwa busara. Tukutane mizani kila Ijumaa saa 1 machweo kwenye runinga ya Hope TV.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Single.
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcasts?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
Welcome back in business. The Kcb Foundation has piloted a student athletic program that will provide scholarship opportunities to talented athletic students to nurture and grow their talent to world-class athletes under the annual Kcb Scholars program. This is specifically for students from economically disadvantaged backgrounds with a view of extending it to other sports in the future. The foundation says the move seeks to support the National Student Athletes Program by working with the Kenya Academy of Sports through the Ministry of Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs, as well as the Ministry of Education. The foundation has selected 50 students talented in athletics to join its 2024 Kcb Scholars program following athletics trials held at Ndura Sports Complex in Kitale Town.
Our objective as KFRAN is to ensure that the process and the program of selection is successful, since we've invested our time and resources in partnership with Transcend Academy for the purpose of nurturing, developing, and ensuring that we produce talents in athletics in this country.
Kcb Foundation Scholars Program sponsors 1,000 students across the country. This year, we've introduced a new category for the gifted and talented with specific aspect on athletics. We are here today for the scouting mission, identifying the people who have the talent. Today, we've witnessed a crowd of over 700 participants who have come today to compete to attain the scholarship opportunities.
We are aware that sporting career is very short. So the athletes should also have something to fall back on when their career finishes. In this program, the Kenya Academy of Sports will be working with the foundation in identifying the talents to be for the scholarship program, and also will be having coming up with a curriculum development of the courses that the athletes will be going through. The coaches also will be working on developing the sports coaches and other sports technical personnel.
Kcb Foundation has been generous enough to introduce a program through their foundation, their normal education program, to be able to give a chance to young upcoming athletes who want to engage in education but also develop their talent.
And in sports, Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez have been pictured back in Manchester United training more than 2 months since they last featured for the club. Martinez has not played for the club since he was injured against Bayern Munich in September last year, while Casemiro's last game came in the Carabao Cup defeat to Newcastle at the start of November last year. The Red Devils confirmed the pair had their first involvement in team-wide training yesterday, days after manager Erik ten Hag told reporters that both were likely to return to first team action by the end of the month. And Antonio Rudiger's second half goal earned La Liga leaders Real Madrid a 1-0 home win over Mallorca, extending their unbeaten league run to 13 games. Centre-back Rudiger broke the deadlock in the 78th minute as he capitalized on some sloppy defending from Luka Modric's corner to power a header into the top corner and score his first goal of the season. In the other Spanish La Liga fixtures played yesterday night, Atletico Madrid were humbled by Girona 4-3. Celta Vigo thrashed Real Betis 2-1, while Granada put on a show by winning 2-0 over Cadiz. Well, we have come to the end of Newswatch tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. See you tomorrow, same time, same place, God willing. Have a good night.